Hello, I'm Sarah Parsons, Digital Editor of Cosmetics Business, and today we're in conversation with Jackie Paterno, VP of New York, and Christine Ansari, VP of Europe for South Korean beauty specialist CTK Cosmetics. Thank you both for joining me today. How are you?
Oh, our pleasure. Great. How are you, Sarah?
Good. So for everyone watching, I know some may be aware of CTK Cosmetics, I know some may not be, but can you just fill us all in about CTK, Christine?
Yes, I would love to. CTK is a cosmetics company. We are a full service cosmetics company that's been around. We're just celebrating actually this year our 20th anniversary. We've been doing cosmetic packaging and formulation work since 2001. Actually, we started out as a cosmetic packaging company. And then since 2009, we've added the full service element of our business. So we really consider ourselves one of the premier K-beauty specialists. We've been around doing K-beauty for about the past, I would say almost 15 years. And kind of really when the whole movement started. So I think that we're very proud of that fact, and we're a very Korean-driven company. One of the things that we love about that is that the company has so many inspirations and motivations being in Korea, that it really is a truly dynamic market that changes all the time. So one of the benefits of being in that location is that we learn a lot and we're able to see what works and what doesn't work. And one of the interesting things that's really given us a lot of insight in our business has been able to take some of the trends that are happening in Asia and be able to translate them globally and transfer them into brands that can function globally and market them globally. So we really focus on manufacturing of cosmetic products, meaning packaging. And then also with the full service, we're doing all different types of full service products. So, makeup, skincare. Definitely in the last, 5 to 10 years, our skincare development has really ramped up. And we've really recently added a new innovation lab inside the company. We've built a brand new lab since about a year ago. And we're doing even more types of internal development with that lab. And since the company has gone public, since about 3 years, we've been really, growing and moving forward as far as the investments in the different divisions that we have in the company and helping each other out to grow and sustain our growth pattern as we move forward. So it's a really great company and wonderful to share with you today a little bit more of our of what our focus is going into the next year or two and 5 years from now, and what we've seen change over these last, 15 or 20 years that we've been doing this. But fun to be here to talk about, this being our 20th year, because we have been around for some time and been able to learn from that experience. And so I think that that's a lot of what the company, has to offer our clients.
So I know in terms of innovation, you've put a lot of effort into CTK Clip. So can you just tell us more about that, Jackie?
Yes, our Clip, we started our Clip even before COVID, but COVID really ramped up the development of it. And it was very hard, as everybody knows, in 2020 to see our customers face to face. And we wanted to create a platform for them to come and almost have a virtual showroom. So showroom visits are very organic. And we wanted the site to be that very organic experience. And quickly, I'm going to show you our homepage. This is just the homepage, really quick. It's not just a typical having your catalog. It's very interactive. So you can really search by package, by skincare, by makeup, everything that CTK does. We have over 5,000 formulations and products on here. You could even search by ingredient, clean, sustainable. We have our patented section. We actually highlight what's new for the month because we're constantly coming out with new innovations. And we really just this is the product of the week section. It really gives a very user-friendly experience. It really brings you from one thing to another to another. It's meant to, we really get lost in it. Unfortunately, people get lost in it, and it's meant for that. We want you to. And you really just go in and you clip what you like, and it just kind of keeps a running record of what you clipped. And then we can arrange samples, marketing sheets, whatever you want on what you have. So much like a showroom experience, when you're walking around a showroom, you really just can pick what you like from the showroom. And sometimes when we do a presentation with customers, when we used to do presentations, we would show our innovations for fall or for spring. And at the end of the innovation, they would walk around the showroom, they would see different things that would pique their interest or different packs that they were looking for a project, and organically things would happen. And that's what we wanted to happen here on our Clip site. And it's been very successful. We've had quite a really very good response. We have, goodness, like over 4,000 members. It's kind of, you have to join, and we give you your own email and your own password, and it's been very successful, and we're really happy with it. The team's very happy with it.
Good.
Yeah, I think one of the highlights of that is just that it's, it's like an online showroom that's available 24 hours a day. So whenever you have an inspiration of what you want to look at, or you're thinking of an idea, you're able to sort of look and see what's available, and sort of explore an idea, which is really what the purpose of that site is. And because right now we're living in a day and age where we just really want immediate gratification. We don't want to email someone and wait for a day, or even like 12 hours for a reply. We really want to know what is available now, and we're dealing with that sort of mentality with everyone at this time. And so this was a really wonderful response to that, and the fact that, as Jackie mentioned, we're not able to necessarily travel as much, and even clients' offices are not receiving visitors all the time. We're sort of going, back and forth in the current situation. And one of the wonderful things about this is it's always open, and it's a great tool to use during a meeting, even to research something and share information. You can click on it and get fact sheets, so you know what the product is about. As Jackie was showing you, you have ingredients, you have packaging, you have all the different, facets that you have in the building blocks of a product. And one of the great things that I really love about our company is that we're open to, if you just want to do the formula with us, that's great. If you're just looking for packaging, no problem. I mean, you're not required to do a full service. Of course, we think it's easier, and really we see the market really going that way. A lot of our clients are looking for full service, and they really appreciate the service that you get with that. And I think that that's one of the the strongest points that CTK has to offer, is that we're really good with service. I mean, I think for Jackie and I, working in New York and Paris, being out in the field and working with clients, it really makes us feel so confident and really great, knowing that our team in Korea is really so strong and so capable, and that we can deliver what our client is asking for. So I think that that's been a wonderful thing about, being a Korean company and putting out this type of a website, which is such a wonderful tool, but it's also extremely put that together. And so we want to get it out there. And, that's part of the discussion today, is to get people on there. Go to ctkclip.com and, just look around and check it out. And I think, as Jackie was saying too, there's sections on there that just talk about the trends, and there's new stuff that is getting highlighted and new information put on there every week. It's almost
interesting. We, sorry to interrupt. As a Korean company, we a lot of our customers would always come to us and say, "What's going on in Korea?" Because Korea is very innovative with the formulas and even with their packs. And we have a section in there, all of what's going on in the Korean market. So we bring Korea to them. We bring what's going on in Seoul, what's going on in the skincare, which is very huge, obviously in Korea, what's going on there. And it's interesting. So we truly did stay true to our roots in this. We really wanted it to be like a visit with us, because we always get asked that in our visits. What's going on in Korea? You guys are there. So, and we kind of put a nod to that in there. So we really covered everything in this clip. We really did. ctkclip.com. It's very powerful, I think.
And in terms of, I don't want to call it a trend, because it's more of a movement, isn't it, in terms of sustainability? That's something that I know all brands are concerned about right now. So how are you guys supporting them and their sustainable goals?
I think since 2019, or any pack that we develop has to be sustainable. That's been our internal initiative. We don't really develop packs that don't have any sustainability. So we've done a lot with the 3 R's, which is the refill, reuse, recycle. So we've developed like a lot of our pumps. One of our first developments was a monomaterial pump, where we removed the metal spring in the pump, and we're able to, the end consumer doesn't even have to disassemble. They could just put it right in the recycle bin. And we've taken this and we've kind of had every size down from 15 to like up to 200, we really kind of loaned this out. And then we even took it one step further. Once we kind of achieved that, now it's all about PCR. How much PCR can we put in this pump, and what does it look like? Because it's important. PCR, everybody wants to use it, but it's not, you can't really use 100%. It does affect certain things. So we're doing the research there. So we have some PCR in this pump, and we actually have samples that we show the customers. This is what it looks like at 30%. This is what it looks like at 50%. So we really kind of take it one step and then we bring it to the next step. A lot of our packs are, refillable. So it's, while you have a lot of high-end skincare, they really don't want to give up their high-end luxe look. So we'll have a lot of refillable packs, whereas they can keep their exterior at high end, and the consumer would keep this for a longer period of time and just buy the refills. And maybe bringing that, into pumps. I mean, it's just so a lot of packs like this, even compacts, we have refillable compacts that we can just pop out the pans. So it's always in our mind. Anything we develop, whether it's for skincare or color, it's all about sustainability. And PCR is one of the biggest ones. After the amount of material, we're kind of into the PCR world.
We have a package innovation lab, and the purpose of that is really to focus on, eco solutions. So within that group in the company, there is a professional, eco solution manager who's really focusing on, each of the developments that is coming through, like any custom development. I mean, this year alone, our team did 110 new molds, which is quite a lot, and we're not even, we're almost to the end of the year, but it's a lot of brand new molds in 1 year. And so we need to have, the team that's developing all the new, products and new molds for our customized clients. We need somebody thinking about that. So we are recognizing that the need for that always within every project. So I think that that's also the key, is that we have to not only look, at what we have and figure out how to make it better, but at the same time, we have to have specific people looking at, the sustainability, the recyclability, the any sort of biodegradable, aspect that can be done, from not just in the packaging, but then moving over into the, the formula side. Part of it is that we do many formulas, and we do our own ingredient research. So we're working with ingredient resourcing companies to develop our own special ingredients, because part of the development in full service is really not just about making a product and putting it in the packaging, but it's really about digging deeper. So I think that that's been one of the keys that the company has been able to do in the past few years, is to really dig deeper. And our CEO, Sunny Choi, who has been really integral in developing the full service part and that side, and that is to really get into partnership with ingredient makers. And we have many ingredient suppliers, and some of them coming from Jeju Island, for example, in Korea, that are developing upcycled, materials. So materials coming from like the seeds of a mandarin, and we're, or different types of plant material. Because obviously, as you said, where are we moving with sustainability? And that just brings us into the clean movement, and like how we manage, formulas, and looking at clean and vegan. And so we're constant, and now we're getting a lot more questions from clients saying, I want the natural, portion of my formula to be higher. So how can we manage that, but yet still make a unique product? And so what we find is that, and that's one of the wonderful things about, I think about Korean culture, is that, there's just, everything is possible, and you just find new ways to do it. And so how can we use all these elements? I mean, if you look at the food and the culture and how everything gets used, so in a plant, you're using the stem, you're using the leaves, you're using every part. So I think that translates well. And so we can use that ability with many of our suppliers in Korea to further develop that idea. Which is quite fun, actually. I mean, it's pretty fun. Like the formulation team is coming up with some wacky stuff, and sometimes you look at it and go, wow, but it's so interesting. And I think that where we're turning is to say consumers are becoming much more adept at understanding ingredients, understanding where they come from, wanting to know more about that, even more than before. And so we recognize that, and I think that that's part of the service that CTK offers as well, is that the depth of information that we're willing to offer is growing. So I think that that is also, not a trend, but it's just it's something that we see and we already anticipated. So we try to give that to our client before they even are asking for it. I think that that's another key element of that, clean, sustainable, all of those, the movement, as you said. I mean, it really is a movement. It's here to stay, and it will only get stronger.
For sure. And you mentioned on the website how there's easy access for the top trends that are going on right now in Korea. So aside from, I guess, clean sustainability, which is some of the biggest trends around the world, what other trends have you guys noticed and what's popping up on CTK?
Well, sustainability always takes the first precedent, and of course, clean formulations. A lot of trends people want to try things. A lot of our customers and a lot of our brands want to try the ingredients and to really kind of for us to come to them with this unique ingredient, and they want to see how they can kind of put that into their line. And it's one thing CTK we're able to do. We're able to kind of take like a red gromwell, which is a very natural red. The red comes from the actual gromwell root. And we presented this, one of our customers wanted very natural colorants in all of their formulations. And we were able to kind of pivot on that and brought her this really interesting ingredient that can actually be used as a colorant, and it's all natural. So, it's all plays on the whole natural and clean, like how can we take it one step further? And I think that colorant was bringing it one step further. So those are definitely the trends. And a lot of trends are made by the stores itself, like Credo's trend here in the US is all about, they want to get rid of all single-use products. So I think Christine and I there's this new mask that there's people are talking about where everything is biodegradable, whether it's just the mask or that and the pouch. So it's really like taking that trend of sustainability and just bringing it to the next level. And that's kind of what I know. It's still the same trend as sustainability, but it's like bringing it just even further over the finish line and bringing it
definitely
further.
Also, that sustainability and being natural doesn't have to be boring, right? So what
Yes.
you're saying about color, and you can still stand out and have your unique brand story and things like that. And it sounds like that's how you can help them a lot as well.
It does. Like even like mushrooms are a big trend, and like right now, and we actually are one of our presentations for fall is all about mushrooms, and we bought all different type of beta glutens and reishi mushrooms, and just kind of we took that one mushroom trend and we kind of have 20 serums with all different options for the brands to look at. So yeah, just taking it and really giving them a lot of options.
And I think one of the key trends too that comes from the Korean market that's just so fantastic, and that just drives the market is textures. I mean, I think really when you talk about formula textures, there's nobody better. I mean, I think the chemists we have in the lab that are working on the textures, and then we see the things coming out of our InnoLab. It's it's changing the mindset of how you look at a serum, for example. But when we look at a serum, we all think it should be very smooth and absorbent, and that's it. But they're really pushing the envelope and changing it in the sense that maybe there is a benefit to having a sticky serum. And if we have a serum that's a little bit sticky, but it adheres better to the skin and it gives us a better moisture barrier. And when we put on our foundation over it or our primer, we're getting a better adherence, and the longer lasting piece of that benefit is really functioning more. So I think that there's also that pushing the envelope always with texture and trying to make something new out of it, even though we know that that's like the holy grail in a way, is like, what is the new texture, what is the new thing? And it feels sometimes like it's all kind of been done, but it's not. I mean, I think that's also just a testament to the industry in itself. I mean, I think that our raw material suppliers are getting even better, and we have to give them a huge shout out, because I think without the raw material suppliers really working hard at making materials that can function well in a clean beauty environment, but offer the client a wonderful, feeling, that's extremely important. And I think we're seeing that. And that's where I would say, like, our chemists are coming through on that. They're providing us with a unique texture. And I speak about serums because lately we've really been focused on different types of serums. And if you go on the ctkkclip.com, you can see many different types of serums. And the textures are not always what you expect. And I think that there's a great story there. And I think that our clients out there want to know what that is and why it's not exactly the same. And there's a reason for it. Many of it is that it's not clear because the ingredients are of such a nature that the formula can't be clear. It might be a little bit milky looking, or it has a little color to it, but there's a reason for that. And I think that that's interesting, and clients want to know more. And so I think we're seeing the day and age where from prestige on down, there's more information that the client is demanding about the product.
Yeah.
So, and we see it across the board, not just in our prestige clients, but in the middle and even in mass, you have a lot more, movement as far as what's happening with ingredients. So I think those things are a real driver for us because we see it as a way to differentiate, and we see it as a strength,
Yeah.
and it is something that is important to the client.
And just in way of trends, just typical trends, like in the US right now, it's colors coming back. So actually lip is coming back, cheek is coming back, and brow continues to dominate. Like everyone is now going past the brow pencils, and it's all brow powders, brow gels. But I mean, so those are the three key color trends that are happening right now in the US.
Okay, interesting. I've seen a similar thing in the UK. So yeah,
it's coming back. And then, as Christine said about textures for the cheek, it's gone just the basic blush sticks or the pressed powders. It's all about different type of textures for the blushes. So we have textures like Play-Doh, and really they want fun, interactive textures. It's actually, they want fun back in makeup, I think.
Yeah.
And even like I've noticed lipsticks, lipstick, not just the glosses, which has been dominant for years, but lipsticks are coming back. Which is nice. And then Korea makes a mean matte lipstick. No one does a matte lip like Korea, so very fun.
You're both, speaking of Korea, you're both very proud of the brand's or company's Korean heritage. But obviously, Jackie, you're chatting from New York today, and I know, Christine, you're in Paris. And so from those sides of the business, can you tell us more about that and that relationship with your Korean heritage?
Well, I think, 80% of our customers really are based in the US, and the 20% is based in Europe, in Christine's area. So those have always been our markets, and it's really important to have representation here. So not only do we have myself based here in the East Coast in New York, we also have a California office as well that handles the West Coast accounts, and Christine handles all of Europe and Paris. So while we are very Korean and we're proud of our heritage, our customer base is mainly outside of Korea, and I think they come to us for that reason, because they know that we're in Korea and we can bring a certain distinction to them.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that we have a lot to offer here. And I think, we've been traveling a lot back and forth to Korea. So we're really in tune with our teams. Jackie and I each have a team there that works on all of our projects with us. And I actually lived in Korea for 5 years, so know it very well. And so I think that, it's been a lot of fun for me to continue working with, my Korean company. And I think that it is a wonderful tie-in, the fact that we can be locally in the market, and it does lend a lot of credibility to the company. And I think that that's always been very important too, is that you can reach someone and everything, how things are going, and we can answer questions for people, and we're always available. And that is an important factor when you're dealing with, projects and, maintaining timelines and keeping everything going and keeping it, to deliver on time, which we have a really, really high success rate at on-time delivery. So I think that is, a main key for us to be in the region as well, and be participating with our clients and get them engaged and, present things and,
Absolutely. And so we've covered a lot today. We've covered about the brand's heritage, what you've been up to now. So what's next? What's the outlook for CTK?
We have a secret project that we have been working on, and it'll probably be launched in early 2022, the first to the second quarter. And again, it continues on sustainability. It's more in the pack area, but it's super exciting. And we're kind of going to be announcing that soon. Christine might know a little more than me, but
Yeah, I mean, we have, the great thing about our company is we've got 5 different divisions. So we're the cosmetics division, and then we have another division that's located in Canada, and they're doing a lot of work on, materials and research and, really interesting things. So I think that we do coming up in, the next year and the next, the 5-year outlook and 10-year outlook is that we've really put a lot of investment. I think that's the key is we've put a lot of big investment in developing materials that are for the future. And so that means that, we have a lot of great things to discuss coming up. It's just right now, they're a little bit too confidential to get into, but we're excited to be able to share that shortly coming in 2022, and that will help, definitely propel us into the future with a lot of new exciting possibilities regarding packaging. And that's, we're always kind of going back to our heritage in packaging, and because it's always been a very stable, business for us.
I'll look forward to keeping my eye out for that next year then.
Great.
So actually that's all what we've got time for today on this note. But if anyone watching wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Pretty easy. We have quite straightforward email addresses. So you can certainly email me here, anyone in Europe or Middle East, at Christine@ctkcosmetics.com.
And I am Jackie, Jackie, at ctkcosmetics.com. And our clip is ctkclip.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, both of you, for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, yes, and thank you everyone for watching. That is Cosmetics Business in Conversation with CTK. For more exclusive interviews like this one, head to our YouTube channel, Cosmetics Business, or for the latest beauty industry news, trends and analysis, make sure you subscribe to cosmeticsbusiness.com. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.